The Chen clan family ancestral halls house the family's genealogy books and grave tablets. In the next slides, let me take you through why is it important in our clan. Why do we value it? Genealogy book, as mentioned in the previous slides, is the listing of male family members and their families. It records bloodline, focusing on male descendants. It records the living history of the family. It maintains the clan's identity and serves as the household register. On the other hand, grave tablets, such as the tombstone, taps, ancestral tablets, mark the resting place of the departed. This is just like our lapidas, our puntod in the cemetery, or memorial parks. If the genealogy book is lost, this will be the evidence for family lineage. No, they will base the details of the departed family members from these grave tablets. Okay, so this serves as the ancestor's ID card and house number, pointing to their resting place and spiritual destination. Actually, these two significant items are two sides of the opposite coin in Minan because these two are opposite to each other, but somehow they are connected, they are related, because genealogy book is for living and the grave tablets are for the dead, and both of which are important connections to the identity of the clan members. Now, let us focus on grave tablets. Why is it important to a clan? These are its roles. It confirms the final resting place of the departed. It has engraved name of the clan on it and biography inscription of the deceased. It's also a witness to feng shui. Grave tablet's location confirms the family's choice of an auspicious site, which may influence fortunes of later generations. What do you mean by auspicious site? It's actually a term for like an appropriate place, a place where there's a positive energy which can bring good luck to the family. So grave tablets are not just placed anywhere in the hall. There is a careful scrutinization of the area on where to put it. Okay, this has a sacred significance in terms of faith. In addition, grave tablets focus on ancestral worship. It symbolizes the soul of the ancestors. It serves as the direct medium to which descendants pay their respect at prescribed times. So this is like a communication instrument between the living family members and the deceased ancestors. What's so special about this is that the grave tablets of our deceased ancestors are being put together in one roof, all together in one place. So that makes our ancestral halls holy. Well, I know you might think that we have something similar here in the Philippines, but it's actually different here. Here, our tombstones are scattered across many different public cemeteries rather than being kept together in a single clan cemetery. So, tombstones here and grave tablets are placed in public burial grounds where families share the space with many other people. So you see, that's why our ancestral halls that house the grave tablets of our ancestors who departed are so valuable to our clan that even our grandparents supported its construction. So you see, that is how important that place is. That is how holy that place is. And that is how valuable that place is. Informations at hand, we can say that ancestral halls are not just merely buildings, but the heart of the family spirit. It's the heart of the clan. It is greatly honored and serves as the link between the living and the spirits of the departed. It is highly valued. One of the core dimensions of ancestral halls is its being sanctuary of ancestor worship. As mentioned, it houses the spirit tablets of past generations and serves as a spiritual bond linking the living with their forebears. On festivals and death anniversaries, clan members hold solemn ceremonies here. You may witness such celebrations and solemn ceremonies on that two videos that I sent on the GCs for you to watch. I actually have posted it as well in YouTube so that you can easily search for it. Just type in or search for Chen clan celebrations of the Hul Dongbin Ancestral Hall and Chen clan celebrations of the Huku Ancestral Hall. Moreover, our ancestral hall is the avenue or center of lineage management. It is a core venue for family deliberations, enforcement of clan rules, and organization of sacrificial rites. Major decisions also take place here, like compiling genealogies, arranging weddings and funerals, and mediating disputes or misunderstandings between clan members. So, like, ancestral halls are not only for worshiping our ancestors but a place for the unification of the clan. It maintains internal order within the clan and reinforces the ethics of order between the junior and senior family members. Ancestral halls also serve as a space for cultural education and identity. It often has study rooms to educate the clan's younger generation. It has plaques, couplets, stone inscriptions that record families' achievements. So you see, the academic efforts, academic success of the family members' young generations are being recognized here as well. Ancestral halls also have ancestral instructions and domestic rules serving as living moral textbooks. So this is actually a place for heritage mentorship. Not only that, our ancestral halls are platforms for social mutual aid and integration. Ancestral halls typically establish common properties such as sacrificial fields and school fields. So what do you mean by that? This has a deep meaning. No, according to AI, it refers to a traditional Chinese clan practice in which land was owned collectively by the clan rather than by individual families. The income generated from this land supported the ancestral hall and benefited the clan as a whole. Well, speaking about our ancestral halls, I believe that this pertains to the ancestral halls that are not owned by individual family member but actually owned by the whole clan. And the contributions, the pledges that they can gather from family members are being used for mutual aid. So, the funds will be used to support impoverished clan members or those less fortunate family members. Also, it will be used to reward examination success or assist overseas clansmen in rebuilding their hometown. This is to encourage younger generations to finish their studies so as to be successful in the future. This reflects the traditional Chinese clan value of encouraging education and supporting one's ancestral home, just like what our grandfathers did. In summary, the ancestral hall is a living space for family deliberations, worship, education, and mutual aid. It also serves as the front stage of lineage operations of the clan. The ancestral hall is where a family clan honors its ancestors, values its ancestors, and respects its ancestors. For Minan communities, it represents the family's history, traditions, and shared identity. It serves as a place that keeps the clan's memories alive and reminds members of their common roots and heritage. Filipino-Chinese Chen families, I am inviting you all to visit our ancestral halls. For Minnan Chinese like us, returning to the ancestral hall to acknowledge our roots is the most solemn ritual confirming that our roots are in Minnan, confirming that we belong there, confirming that our ancestral hall is a real home. A visit to our ancestral hall is the highest respect that we can give to our ancestors, to our Grandpa Chinga, Grandpa Jose, Grandpa Kaishu, Grandpa Chi Drew, Grandma Wupien, and other ancestors. Come home soon to our hometown. Let's visit our relatives and honor our ancestors. Lai, come, Zoba, let's go. Please. The ideal time to visit our ancestral halls is during a major clan event, which I believe will happen in 2029. I think it's already set. That is according to Cousin Gemini. So, such major clan event is just like that you've watched on the two videos that I've sent on the GC. For those who were not able to watch it yet, you can watch it on YouTube. It's already posted. Also, the ideal time to visit is during unauspicious dates such as the following Chinese New Year, Lantern Festival, Qingming Festival, Winter Solstice Festival. The Chinese New Year happens usually on the 1st to 15th day of the first lunar month. In 2027, that would fall on February 6 to 20. The Lantern Festival, however, is usually celebrated on the 15th day of the first lunar month, which will be on Feb 20, 2027. For listing on the genealogy book, it is highly recommended to do it during the Lantern Festival because the Lantern Festival is a good auspicious date for male descendants to be enlisted in the genealogy book. Choosing an auspicious date for Chinese genealogy listing honors ancestors and symbolizes hopes for family harmony, blessings, and lasting prosperity. So, with that being said, it is best to come during the Lantern Festival for the genealogy book name inclusion. The Lantern Festival is what also our cousin Gemini and our uncles recommended for genealogy listing. Allow me to share to you a message from cousin Gemini about this. So let me read. The reason is that during the Lantern Festival, we light lanterns, and in the Minnan dialect, the word lantern sounds the same as son or male descendant. So it's an appropriate time to add boys into the family genealogy. On February 20, 2027, the Huku Green Book is available for listing. The official Red Book is usually available every December 20-ish when the Huldongbin Village Ancestral Hall opens. But on February 20, this will be a special case for us. The Red Book will also be available for us for listing. Let me reiterate to you, there's no need to come and be present in order to be listed. A representative will do the listing for you so that it be actually me. I can be your representative. We will be traveling to our hometown on February 2027. I've already booked my trip and have my ticket. I can be your representative and I am willing to be your representative. To those who are interested, you may join me. Come on, let's be the representatives of our family. Let's fly to China. I'm sure it's gonna be fun to witness the Lantern Festival, to witness the listing in our genealogy book, to visit our relatives, and honor our ancestors ahead of time. So why did I say ahead of time? Because I understand that not everyone are free during that date. And for us to be complete, another date is set for us to be reunited in China. Let's have our grand family reunion in China, in our hometown. hope everyone is free on May 28 to June 3, 2027. Another date has been suggested, which is on December 20ish, but I believe not everyone is free. And besides, that's Christmas season. I'm sure flights are full packed and we may have difficulty in getting tickets for everyone. So, as everyone can prepare for this big event in our family, I am announcing that the final date for our reunion will be on May 28 to June 3 of 2027. That's gonna be our Chen Family Reunion 2027 in our hometown in China. By the way, for the tombstone engraving of our departed family member, it is best to come on the next Ancestral Hall celebration, which will happen in 2029. So let me share the message of Gemini. Let me read it for you. For the tombstone plaque, you don't need to have it made for now. That might only be produced together at the next big ceremony, which is usually held once every 3 years. Our suggestion here is to add the names into the genealogy, the Huku genealogy, during the Lantern Festival. The cost shouldn't be too high. Only need to hire one person to write the names on it. But we need to ask our other relatives' decision. Yes, you've heard it right. There's a cost for the listing. So for this matter, let me share it with you on the next slide. Name inclusions in our clan's genealogy book. A professional must be invited to write the names, and certain rituals need to be performed for it to take effect. This will incur a cost. Only the names of males and their spouses, of course, including family details, will be recorded, and the fee per male listing is 50 Chinese yuan or 450 Philippine peso. So you may entrust your payments to your representative. Again, how would you know if you are listed? The ones who will be listed are those male family members who have Chen fathers. So that is easier to discern. So if your mother is Chen, you are not included in the list. Now let me tell you this, listed or not, you will still be Chens. You still have the bloodline of Chen, and you will be forever Chen. You are as important as those male family members that are listed. It's just that we are just following the traditions, the Chinese culture of listing. Okay? Pledges are welcome. Pledges, contributions, or donations are very much welcome. If your finances will allow, collective donation of 2,000 Chinese yuan or more can be given, which would allow a name to be engraved on the wall of the ancestral hall. Okay, this is not mandatory. It just depends entirely on the financial situation and wishes. Monetary pledges may be used for future celebrations, for the repair and maintenance of the ancestral halls, and for other monetary aid. You may as well entrust your pledges to your chosen representative. It is best and highly recommended that you'd give your pledges during the Lantern Festival together with the genealogy listing, so as when you come in May for the reunion, you will be able to see your names engraved on the walls of the ancestral halls. That it be in acknowledgement of your generosity for the clan. Upon receipt of the pledges, your names will be engraved on the wall of the ancestral hall in honor of your generosity and high regard to our roots. Allow me to share these engraved names of males who offer their pledges or donation. On the topmost part with green box are our relatives, namely Chen Wenkai, Chen Wenyu, and Chen Chuyun, who are our relatives in the Philippines. I believe they're residing in Oroquieta. On the right part with the green box are our uncles Chen Wenping and Chen Wenkui. At the left part with blue ink markings with engraved boxes on their names are our three grandfathers, Chen Kaishu, Chen Yangu, and Chen Yanzeng.
These are our three grandfathers, where their names are engraved on the walls of the ancestral hall.
On the right is the translation of their names, helped by AI. Okay, it's Chen Yan Zheng, donated 1,000 yuan. Chen Yan Yu, or AI wrongly translated the name. It's actually Chen Yan Gu. Then, who donated 1,000 yuan also, and Shen Kai-shu pledged for 1,000 Chinese yuan. Well, actually, the remaining funds
From the 2012 trip,
were donated to the ancestral hall following Daddy Bebe's instructions. Cousin Gemini and her family also made an additional contribution on behalf of our three grandfathers. As a result, their names are engraved on the walls of the ancestral hall in recognition of their pledges. Meanwhile, here are the names of our uncles who were acknowledged by their kindness. 1,000 yuan each for Uncle Chen Wen-kui and Chen Wen-ping. Our relatives Chen Wen-kai, Chen Wen-yu, and Chen Chu-yun made bigger contributions, with 5,000 yuan each. They were instruments in the construction of the first road in the village. The funds from them were utilized. So, the couplets in our village gate were named after Chen Chu-yun. Contribution from the female family members were also acknowledged. Our aunties Chen Yuzhao and Auntie Chen Xiuyan in Hong Kong and cousin Sina also made donations. If you would like to give pledges or contributions from the heart to our ancestral halls, you are welcome to do so. Any amount is deeply appreciated, and again, contribution is optional. In May 2027, let us have our family reunion in our hometown in Fujian, China. I know a lot of you now are having second thoughts, most especially that you heard about the payment for listing and the cost anticipation for the airfare, pocket money, accommodation, and all. But let me tell you this. Money is merely a material asset that can be earned again, and loans can eventually be repaid. More important than wealth is the chance to return to our ancestral halls, honor our ancestors, and ensure that our male descendants are entered into the genealogy book. Preserving our family's legacy and connection to our roots is priceless. Work can wait, and wealth can be rebuilt, but opportunities to gather at our ancestral home, uphold our traditions, and pass our heritage on to future generations are beyond measure. Let's come home soon. Chen Family Reunion 2027 is set to happen on May 28 to June 3 of 2027. You are all invited to come. See you soon!